Alright guys, here she is, my home-built 4-inch crash box for my 4-inch dredge that I haven't put together yet. This was a box that I started working on and I never got the project finished. I went ahead and I knew I wanted to build a bigger dredge, so this project kind of sat on the standstill for a little while. Anyhow, we'll go through it real quick. Now this box right here, the aluminum, or the sheet metal I should say, because it's not aluminum, it's actually thin steel right here, and this was an old ceiling light at one time. You see, they got a hole right here to run the electrical wire through. I'll have to end up taking a piece of sheet metal and patching it down here at the bottom, but that will be a fairly simple, easy job to do, so no worries there. Now I went ahead and built a crash box because I'm a pretty big fan of these crash box dredges. I actually think I tend to like these things better than the straight boxes. I've had a 4-inch crash box that was built by Keene before, but I ended up losing it in a river flood, and that's as far as I'll go into the story on that one. Well, all the material comes up right in here, and really it all the gold that comes into the box, it usually all gets laid out right here, and right here as well. So that's what I really like about it. And this was actually made out of old washer machine. So you can kind of see Maytag right there. See, I got it all riveted together. Well, the back right here, this piece right here. This is a toilet flange piece. It's a 4-inch. Works perfect. But one of the reasons I haven't used this box yet is because it's a little bit flimsy. This box was actually 3 pieces at one time and I put it all together. Even though I'm looking at it today and it's really not that bad. Not as bad as what I thought it was. If you wanted to get some aluminum, an old snowmobile channel would probably be better. And I have seen some boxes built like that just because that aluminum right there is actually a lot stiffer and it's not going to bend or flex. This, on the other hand, is more or less sheet metal right here. However, to take care of that problem, what I did was I built a little tray for it because this is also built to be a high banker. The box sets right down in there, and I got some leg attachments right here so I can put my legs in there when I go out and use it as a high banker. These are actually old bed rails right here. I cut down and welded together. I run threaded dowel rod right through there, so when I put it on a dredge, I can lower it up and down and get the angle that I need. Alright, here she is put inside the framework. I've got some old Keene riffles that I've had from another project. I'm just gonna run in half and half. I'm gonna run half of the Keene riffles right here, and then the back half of the box. And what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and cut down a piece of expanded metal. If I don't go ahead and just run expanded metal for the whole thing, but I kind of like to switch it up a little bit, kind of give the Sluicebox a couple different variables, just kind of change up the water patterns as the water comes in and hits the expanded metal versus hitting the riffles right here. What I'll end up doing is I'll end up taking some of that black V matting and I'll make a piece for an indicator mat, which will be right about here. I'll have an indicator mat and I'll run my riffles over it, but the indicator mat will be right here, and then I'll put a piece of miner's moss in here, and I'll build a way to secure down these riffles right here. This was actually an old filing cabinet that I had. It was actually, there's holes in it because at one time this was actually a built header box, and I never ended up using the header box, so what I ended up doing was, well, I took the header box that I had, I got some plywood right here just to stiffen things up, so I actually had something to bolt to. It kind of looks a little bit custom in the back, but you know what? It'll get the job done just fine. The gold don't care. You can see inside it looks just fine, nice and sturdy. Got the edges caulked up so no water can get out and everything stays in the box. You know what, it's a little bit rough, but it'll work just fine. So that's it guys, it's a really simple setup, not much to it, it's just a straight channel. My brother actually got the material. He had got some ceiling lights that came out of a scrap job that they were doing, taking the scrap metal away, and well, I saw this lying around. I went ahead and took it because I knew it was going to make a good 4-inch dredge box. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. That's my 4-inch home-built crash box, and the main point that I wanted to get across in this video, you can put together your own mining equipment pretty cheap guys. If you have a little bit of know-how and you can pick those materials up at the dump, you can even find a lot of that stuff thrown away on the side of the curb if you keep your eye open and have a little bit of time to wait to put the materials together. Instead of spending hundreds of dollars buying something that is already put together, which sometimes that's the nice thing to do, is to buy something that's already put together. But if you're looking to save a little bit of money and you want to have a project, you can put your own dredge box together guys fairly cheap. And the dimensions on that, it's 16 inches wide and it's a little bit over 48 inches long, so it's a little bit over 4 foot long. My last box was just under 5 foot long. It was the oversized 4-inch box by Keene, and that was a really good Sluicebox guys, but like I said earlier in the video, unfortunately it got lost in a river flood in California. Alright guys, that's the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on the latest content, and I'll talk to you in the next one.